Hi guys, Ace here, back again. Not doing a rant this time. I'm gonna be doing my first impressions, just kind of like a review here, basically just kind of stating my opinion on No Man's Sky. Now it's been out for a few days, but I've only really gotten to play 2 of those 3 days. Got other things going on, but so far, what I've played, the hours I spent, I probably 4, 5 hours, maybe even 6 hours of just gameplay, and so I've gotten a good grasp of how everything works and that and what you do. Pretty much, what the game is pretty much it's a sci-fi survival game. It's not a fast-paced game. It's not like Call of Duty, or it's not like like a racing game like Forza or something like that, where you just basically you go, you start like a quick match or something, you play for like 5 minutes and then you're done. It's not something like that. It's an ongoing game. It's slow paced, and depending on like how you go about playing the game, because you pretty much can play however you want. I'll get more into that in a little bit, but depending on how you progress through the game is going to depend on your pace. But even just kind of just rushing through everything, trying to get so even if like getting through it and just kind of doing whatever the game's telling you, not really doing much exploring, you're just kind of just doing enough exploring to get what you need and then move on. Even at that pace, it still takes a little bit, because again, you still have to do a little bit of exploring, because you don't know where anything is. It doesn't tell you. Well, not really tells you. It's more of like you gotta kind of find it, and there's things to help you find things instead of just like randomly going up to every single little object and be like, okay, is this it? Is it? No. Some things that you will need are kind of harder to find, which is good. So you do have to go and explore caves and plains and forests and stuff like that to find what you need. And it's not like a small game either. It's a big this is a massive game, guys. This is they say that I heard it was like 18 trillion planets. um, so and that kind of leads into what happens when you discover these planets. Unless it's already been discovered, you can basically name it. You can name it and then upload it, and then pretty much when someone else runs into that planet or that system, they'll see the name of the system, and they'll see like you name the planets if you wanted to. You don't have to. You can just leave it as is. Basically, if they're not discovered, then it gets this really weird name, to the point where it's almost like not possible to pronounce the name of the planets and systems and stuff. But yeah, you can name yourself, and at first I couldn't think of anything, but after I've been naming some planets, I'm kind of getting more and more creative with my names. So, and I keep forgetting the name of the systems. Once you upload a planet, that's it. You can't go back and rename it again, which is something I wish you could, because especially for us people who just started playing and didn't get a chance to go back and didn't get a chance to name the planets, because my first system I didn't name it at all. I was just discovering, like, oh, cool, I discovered this planet, cool. At least my name's on it. That's whatever. But I would like to go back and maybe rename those first couple planets. Now I think the systems are really big. Although every time I go to a planet, every time I get to a new system, I don't see any more than, I don't know. The system one currently has a lot of planets, but some of the planets are also moons as well, and it'll say like, oh, this planet's the moon of this planet. And the planets are all big, different sizes. Like for instance, most of the time they've been pretty, they're either small or they've been like medium sized. But then I get to the system in right now, and it's like huge. It's huge, it's a huge planet. And so yeah, you can go on these planets and just explore them, and it's great. So there's other things to do. There's combat. You do get to fight. You fight sentinels, which are basically like the universe police. You fight pirates. Sentinel ships. So basically, like if you go into space, is when you'll fight like like other ships who are like basically pirates are trying to kill you because they want your loot. Um, which I have been killed by one, although they don't actually take your loot. You basically, once you respawn, you can just fly over to where you died and you get all your stuff back. So, kind of in the sense of like a MMO, where like if you died, you just have to, you spawn somewhere close by and then you just gotta run over to where you died. So, that's pretty much it. Like, so the other thing too is when you're going around mining, because that's one of the things you do. You're gonna be mining, you're gonna be surviving, because the mining part of it is basically like you're mining for these different materials. So they may have their own periodic table, and some of the elements on the periodic table is actual real elements in real life, although half of it's been made up. So it saved them on their part, so they don't get like judged later, like, oh, why is so. And the reason why you're going to mine things, because one, once you get those materials, you can do whatever you want with it. You can sell it for money. Some materials only cost, like, you get a few units, which is the currency. Others are a lot more. For instance, aluminum costs a lot, gold costs a lot. So when you get that materials, and you get the rare materials, you can sell those, or you can use them to build stuff if you have, if you want to build something that requires that material, you can hold on to it until you get the other materials needed to create that one thing. So surviving too, so it's also elements you need to keep your life system intact, and then, that's what it also ties into the combat. You gotta survive when you get attacked by either a creature or a pirate, because there's also creatures on the some of the planets. Not all of them, because I've been to, actually, there's probably, I want to say in all the planets I've been to, I want to say maybe like half of them. So yeah, it just depends, which is really a more variation to the planets, which is nice. Now you're probably been wondering, how does the developer make 18 trillion planets? Now what they did was, for those who don't know, what they did was, instead of like individually going to each planet and creating them, they created an algorithm, which then basically, I'm trying not to be too technical about it, basically they created a math problem, and then that math problem then created all the planets, and everything procedurally generated, which means that, like, there's assets, and then those assets fit in with the other assets. So it's kind of like in the sense of Minecraft. If you ever played Minecraft, when you start a new world, it randomly generates the world, and it's all, again, procedurally generated. So it's all this will create itself pretty much. So it was the same thing when they came to making this game, because the ultimate goal of the game is to get to the center. So which does take a while. Now there was a guy that had gotten like an early copy, had spent like, I don't know, thousands of dollars or something like that, and I think I heard he beat the game, and it took about 30 to 40 hours. I don't know how true that is, that's, for that story, I know that at least there was some guy who bought an early copy, I think a week after it went gold. Overall, though, after all that, it's a really good game. It does have some flaws, and it was exactly what I was expecting. Maybe it's a little less. So my overall grade for the game, and this is just coming from someone who hasn't beaten the game yet, but is pretty far into it to where it's pretty, and this game is pretty repetitive. So I know that even going further down the line, there's not gonna be too much more. There's not gonna be anything really different as far as experiences, because I've pretty much experienced everything, and then I've been re-experiencing things. So I'm like, oh, I've already done this, I've already done that, I know what. So at this point, I already kind of have an idea as to how the rest of the game's gonna go. Anyways, yeah. So my overall grade is gonna be 9 out of 10. It's really good. I think it's got a little bit more work, but overall it's a fun game. I enjoy it, and it's really something that everyone should pick up, especially if you're into games like this, and games that are a game that's not like fast paced, a game that's not like you just throw away and play for 20 minutes and then you're done. But yeah, that's everything, guys. Thank you for watching. Keep an eye on Twitch. I'm gonna be streaming No Man's Sky and some other things. There is a Pokemon game that came out, family Pokemon game. I want to be streaming that, and I'm also getting a capture card soon, so that basically opens up to more options for streaming. So I'm hoping to stream some older games on my Twitch. So again, follow if you're not, and keep an eye out, and I'll see you guys later.
Get through there. Are you? I can't. It won't let you in there? Why would you? This game's horrible. And I just thought, how many times was my sword actually touching him? And it never actually hit. This game is terrible.
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm so dead.
Hey now, you're a rock star.
I didn't even, somehow I like walked over the onion, like